Welcome along, my name is Tawess, and this is the fourth time I'm making this video. Today we're going to be talking about the Netflix series Warfor Cybertron SIEGE. And if you wonder why it's the fourth time, it's because every time I keep making this video and including footage of the show, something gets claimed. All the time, and I take it out, I recut it, and something new gets claimed instead. I take away all the audio, some video gets claimed. So, unfortunately, you're going to be stuck with my lovely mug talking about this. Now, of course, if you have been living under a rock and for some weird reason don't know what Transformers is, there's Google, we're not going to take that discussion. We don't have the 4 hours needed for that. Instead, we're going to take a note on what especially SIEGE is. And SIEGE is the first, I should say adult, because it's not adult in that regard, but it's the first non-kids Transformers show we've had. And this is a phenomenon usually reserved for comics, where we have had a sort of collector slash mature fan series running for quite some time. But the cartoons has been the primary movie media until McBee's Transformers movie and the Bumblebee movie, but those are entirely own thing. So, in essence, what we get is this series that has a more, I'm going to say, dark and gritty take on the Transformers mythos. It is set on Cybertron. It is set during the height of the Autobot Decepticon Civil War, which, for those who don't know, is at one point just a story device, has now grown into a proxy war for the whole identity war, where the Decepticons fight for the right to choose their own path in life, and because they're built, since Transformers are built, some are built to be menial laborers. They don't have a choice. They simply have to do that. And a lot of these felt that, why should we be forced to dig energy mines for my entire life when someone gets to sit and be a professor or a TV star, and I had no chance to change this. And along comes slave slash gladiator Megatron, and you have a uprising. So, on the other hand, you have the Autobots are mostly scholars and such, living a very good life, and not really thinking about the lower classes. And there you have class war. Then, of course, everything goes off the rails, as it usually does when a revolutionary leader takes control over a military power, and, well, we are closing in on some really nasty stuff. Hate crimes, terrorism, the usual. That's where we are with SIEGE. Now, the series follows these two factions, as per usual, and the story plays out pretty much as a regular Transformers story if we include the fact that people get their heads shot off, blown to bits. It's graphical, and as I said, the tone is a bit more mature. But it's not an unfamiliar story. Now, if you just want a light sci-fi romp, this is not a bad series actually. The storytelling is good enough, the voice acting is good, animation is good. If you are a long-time Transformers fans? We have an English brain on here. It is not agreeing with me, and I can't catch it. English, gone. And the fans of Transformers will find a lot of nods to different other eras. A lot, it's called G1, so first generation original cartoon and toy line. A lot of nods to that, but also a fair amount of nods to the Warfor Cybertron and what's the other one? Well, the two PC games, not PC games in general, that came out a few years back. With those two being the main influence and sources, but a few other small nods here and there. So, I'm not going to spoil anything per se, but there is this scene in the beginning of it where you basically take the setup from the cartoon and place this right into the new series, which is Wheeljack and Bumblebee. It's the first scene in the series, so I don't care about spoilers. Out looking for Energon, which, as I noted, is what they do in the cartoon too. Nods like that. You have a few other scenes which are nods to famous scenes from the movie, the animated movie, that is, not the Michael Bay movie. It's nothing wrong with them, they're just not my Transformers. Now, this is part 1 of a series of 3. It's 6 episodes, it's a mini series. And we'll have to see where things go. It's a very different take on some of the characters. Megatron's pretty much his usual self, although a bit more restrained and refined, for all intents and purposes, as befits someone who's actually trying to effect political power. And the Autobots, they're really dug into the fact that many Autobots weren't fighters, not warriors, before they became freedom fighters, or terrorists, depending on how you look at it. One man's freedom fighters, the other man's terrorist, and how that goes. And get these interesting, more anchored, more realistic depictions of how it probably would look if this thing would happen in real life. Anyway, I feel so lost. I don't have my I can't refer back to clips and stuff. I had this really nice layout, clips and references and everything. And I can't show it because it keeps getting claimed. I'm completely lost my train of thought. Anyway. Now, this series is not something you should put your 5-year-old in front of. As I said, people get their head shot off. There's some very big, heavy questions being discussed. But, by all means, put your 10-year-old in front of it. They should enjoy it. Now, of course, none of the big name voice actors you used to are in this. In Transformers fandom, that is. Some for obvious reasons, some for obvious reasons. And this leads to a weird positioning where some of the voices are very much a tribute act in form, especially the guy doing the voice of Prime, who has a very distinct Peter Cullen take on it, but not leaving all that much to his own interpretation. Now, there's nothing wrong, it's not a bad job, it's the voice we have come to associate with Optimus Prime, so it's okay. But it would be fun to see someone doing something a bit different. So yeah. There's not much we can say about this, to be honest, beyond that. I hope that Netflix will relax their stance a bit once this series has been out for a while, so that we can start putting out clips, because I understand them. I'm not upset that they have claimed the video or blocked it. They have the right. I do not have a press kit to use images from, nor do I have any legal claims to be able to use the content I'm using beyond fair use. And to be quite honest, I went quite a bit beyond fair use. But I'm not going to try and figure out what is safe and what is not right now, nor am I going to dispute it, because I said, it is what it is. I hope they relax a bit going forward, so we might actually be able to do a more spoileric show and show off specific bits, because it's a lot of nice little things in this series, especially if you're a fan. But it is on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, I recommend you go and watch this series. And it's next coming 2 parts, and we're going to come back after each part, and we're going to come back in the end when all 3, and we're going to look at the entire arc of this thing. That's it. Now, let's see if I can talk about this without it getting claimed. Anyway, until next time, stay safe, be kind, play fair. Bye.